Hey guys, hope y'all are having a great day. You know, we got about just a couple of weeks left until archery season opens, and we're out here just wrapping up a few loose ends. And we're going to walk y'all around today and just show you some of the things that we're looking for early season deer, how we get set up. We'll set up a few blinds and at least check on a few as well. And we're going to show you some water holes, some food sources, and just the things that we're looking for when we're getting ready for the upcoming archery season. So come on along with us and let's go check it out. Casey's going to tell you a little bit about, there you go, old rub right there. So I'm going to stay back here a little further at first. You see the top of this tree and what it looks like? It's good to kind of know what the shape of that tree looks like, and I'll tell you why. That is one of the most important trees in all of deer hunting, especially early season. Casey's going to fall in the road.
Gonna bust a butt on you.
Going to bust a hind end. But what that is, guys, that is a persimmon tree, okay? I'm going to walk up here now. We're going to look at the bark of it. I'm going to let you see what the bark looks like. But if there's anything that a deer cannot turn down in the early season, it's a persimmon.
It does have a few on it. Just a few.
So let's get you guys a good look at the bark on this tree. First of all, they're really a blackish color. They're very dark.
Let's see these chunks.
Take a good look at this chunky bark. That's the kind of bark you're going to be looking for.
A little flat, a little circular round chunks all the way up.
A lot of times you'll find persimmons on the edge. They're an edge type tree a lot of times, so you'll see them on the edge of a road or a field. But that's what the bark looks like. And once those persimmons start falling out of there, you can guarantee this is the spot to be sitting when it's in the early season.
This tree in particular has dropped for at least 10 years now, and you can almost put money on the end of September. You can find at least a group of does in here every day.
And notice there's a rub right beside it too.
It's definitely in a good spot. There's some bedding back in there behind it. It's another place we don't touch here on the farm very often. And these deer like to filter out right here and check out this persimmon and go out into this bedding area out in this field that we just come from. If you can get there with the right wind, it could be a magical spot here in late September, early October, until these come up off the ground. And that's persimmons, white oaks, even the red oaks come about November. You just really want to keep an eye on. Look for them tops that are popped off the acorns. Look for little chunks taken out of these persimmons. You know, look for feed sign. You know, look for droppings.
One other thing to look for too, and if we find some, we'll stop and look at it for you, but be looking for honeysuckle. Those of you know what honeysuckle looks like and smells like. Deer love it just about like they love these persimmons. But again, one more quick look, there's a persimmon tree. Okay, very, very important when scouting for early season bow season. Find these trees right here. Alright guys, we've stopped here. We found this is a red oak tree. You can't really tell from here. There's quite a few acorns up there. They're going to be dropping here soon. Now, red oaks are good. They're usually good a little bit later in the season than white oaks. But anytime you can find these oak trees, it's a good spot to be getting started. Casey's finding a few on the ground there. So, from last year. But this is what we're looking for. Anytime you can find acorns, I guarantee in early season you're going to find deer, especially if you can find a white oak tree.
I think we might go make a mock scrape or two here in just a few around the edge of this field. But as you can tell, we've got clover, we've got winter wheat clover, there's some chicory, winter peas, winter oats. There's a little bit of everything mixed in up in the bottom end of this field, and deer seem to be using it pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Turkeys seem to be using it pretty well.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And basically all we did, this was our dove field. We do an annual dove hunt every year. Might do a little overseeding. You can see there's a few little patches in here that haven't gotten grown into all the way yet. I'm sure there's something germinated there, but we are calling for another rain, I believe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this coming week. And I try to get it overseeded and it's the way this field lays out. This tree line runs all the way down. This is just a point that goes around, but this tree line runs all the way down, all the way to the end of this field. We've got our camera right there.
Okay, you guys can see this new ladder stand set up here. Well, we got some of these old scrub trees cut out of the way to give it a little bit more clearance out to the field, where you can get a shot out into the edge of this field, or you can shoot the woods, either one. You want to check your straps on your stands, not only before every season, but during the season. Keep an eye on them too. Squirrels will get in there and they'll chew these straps up, and I've seen some people have some bad falls due to just chewed up straps, even on a newer stand. So that's kind of your tip there. Make sure that you're checking these straps on these stands throughout the season. Be sure they're good and safe. Now, you already know that's not my stand, because I don't get up there and hunt in tree stands, but that is one of the stands here that Casey hunts, and we're gonna make sure the straps are good and safe on it, and then we're gonna move on along here and go check a few more areas for you. All right, you can look here and see all these tracks. There are, I mean, hundreds of deer tracks here. And so now I'm going to show you why they're all here. One of the most important factors in early season hunting, and that is a water source. Especially when you get one like this, it's tucked in, you get woods all around it, bedding.
That's kind of fresh.
Casey's done found a velvet rub over there.
Kind of fresh rub right there.
They spend a lot of time on these watering holes. These are great setups for afternoon stands. I mean, you can hunt them in the morning, but a lot of times I like to hunt water sources in the afternoon. But just look around, even on the camera, you can probably tell there are tracks absolutely littered all the way around this pond. So what you want to do is come in here, try to determine the, kind of the top areas where they're coming in and out from. Make sure you can get set right up for your wind, which usually is going to be a south wind in the early season. But right there is a prime example. You can see all those tracks. Prime example of how much deer use water sources in the preseason. One of the very top spots you can be when it's warm outside. Alright, so we're in the truck right now. Casey's out here on water control. I just want to show you guys, this is something you want to make sure you do in the preseason. Get those water kids, you don't want to climb there on the weekend and find out.
They didn't want no part of that.
Alright guys, we're getting a brand new blind put up today. I want to talk to you a little bit about it. I'll show you a gap right through here. See that shooting lane I've got cut? We're going to take you into the blind, and I'm going to let you see how a lot of these lanes are cut. So you can see we're on a crop field here. It's grain sorghum. As far as your eye can see. Got some corn on the upper end. We'll come down. I like my stands on a point or a corner, so this is on a corner. Got a little area of green, cuts back in here. A lot of deer bedding right back in that section. And I'm on this corner, so let's go in here and check the blind out, and I'll show you how it looks from inside the blind. Got my little helper back here, clearing out the woods. All right, look out through here. You can see that shooting lane I was just standing in. It goes right up through there. Shooting lane here. Shooting lane there. Got one here. And got one straight back there. So that's how we set in this blind. Stay concealed back here in the woods. And we set our shooting lanes up just like that. It's a perfect scenario. Deer should come out of bed and come up through here. Hopefully we'll get a good shot at them here in the early season. They're wearing these crops out right now, so we're hoping we can thin a few of them out.
Oh, wow.
But that is a big rub.
That is definitely,
There's a little bottom, and then it goes up a ways on the other side, and that little bottom, them bucks definitely like to cruise that little low area and stay out of people's vision for the most part. Guys, we are in the land of persimmons. That's another thing we like to look for this time of year is these persimmons. They fall around the same time these white oaks do.
It gets real clear once the winter hits, fall hits, everything starts dying down.
Well guys, you see the process. Again, super thankful for buddies. We're taking this deer stand up and gonna get her set. Looks like a pretty good spot. Chan did a heck of a job here, getting us a nice trail to walk through. This stuff was probably at least 4.5, 5 foot tall as we come walking in this a couple weekends ago. If you got good buddies to help you, it makes it 10 times easier.
Oh yeah.
Y'all stay tuned. We'll get back at you with one of us sitting in the deer stand here in a second. This is the walking trail in. My old Chan man helped me get this bad boy up. There's an intersection of deer trails that come off this hill, come right here, come up out of this stuff back here. There's a shooting lane into a nice opening in there. There's an opening through there.
Alright, you can see how this blind is set up with a perfect shot down this logging road. And you can also shoot into the woods around it. Now we'll use this some in bow season for deer walking this road, but this a lot of times we'll use as a rifle setup. There's a lot of acorns and other browse in this set of woods right here. So what we're doing is we're focusing on deer feeding and coming out of this bedding. Then they come in and they walk these roads. Sometimes we'll get them just crossing the road. But a logging road setup can be a great spot to put a blind. If say it's a farm especially that you don't have fields or access to open areas, find some good clearings on logging roads. Guys, let's talk about another way that we do during the summer, something else that we do that kind of helps us keep an inventory on our deer. Now, I'm not the type, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that giving your deer minerals is going to grow bigger deer, bring in more deer, any of that. But what it will do is a lot of deer will come to these particular mineral sites, and you'll be able to get an inventory of those deer and know what's coming in and out of your fields. So we usually choose an area here near the edge of a field, just like this one. And we've had this mineral site here for several years. We like to keep sticks down in them, and they'll kick and move those sticks around with their noses and come in here and get some of this mineral. But this is a great place to set up and get an inventory on your deer. So if you're in an area of Tennessee where minerals are legal, we like to use them. We keep these mineral sites out year round, and they'll come in here and you can get a good inventory. Now bucks use them a lot, don't get me wrong, but what we see the most use out of on our mineral sites is actually does with fawns. So when they've got a new fawn and they're producing that milk, they seem to come in here more often and hit our mineral site. So that's one good way of doing it. Come in here, get it set up. Year after year, they'll come into these areas. I've got some that we've not added mineral to now in several years, and they still come to those sites all the time. All right, now I want to talk about something that we've been talking food plots and some of our clearings and stand setups, but now I want to talk about what I consider to be the #1 most important factor in deer management. You can see this field here. This is about the 5th year successional growth in this field. You can see that trees are starting to come up in it. There's a lot of heavy growth in here. It's parallel to a thick section of woods. There's some fields on the back side of that, a pretty good ways, where they feed at. And this is bedding structure. Okay, I talk all the time, I want 10 acres of bedding structure for every acre of food, no doubt about it. Food's important, but this stuff right in here, this is the kind of place where big bucks stay. Okay, they come in here, they play the wind, and they bed down in these thick areas that we leave grown up. And sometimes just these small patches, this is probably no more than 3 or 4 acres here. And Casey and I see bucks come in and out of this little 3 or 4 acre patch all the time. So we don't come in here and mess around much. We happen to be in here today anyway working on some stands, so I wanted to take advantage to just film this little area and show you what it looks like. but create bedding structure and cover in general for your deer, and it will produce more deer by numbers than any food plot you can ever put in the ground. Time to check little man's gun. Y'all seen this for a couple years now. This is the 223 that, well, it's actually Jack's, and Neil's been hunting with it for a couple of years now. We get a lot of questions about a 223 and shooting deer with it, but I promise you my kids have killed 7 deer with this rifle right here, and I would take it hunting any day of the week. So we got a new scope mounted on it for you. We're gonna get it set up, get it checked in. Once I get it good and set up, we'll bring Neil out here and let him shoot it some more too. But this morning we're just trying to get everything where it needs to be.
I think we agree that that's a 100-yard gun.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
a 100-yard gun. It's not, I'm going to shoot 600 yards with it. Will the bullet go that far? Yes. But it's a 100-yard gun.
So most of the time on these scopes, when you're talking about adjustments, at 100 yards, each click, or each 4 clicks, will be an inch. So if we want to move 3 inches, we want to take and adjust that scope 12 clicks. So we'll go ahead and take another shot now.